Tēnā koutou katoa, and welcome to the University of Auckland's Mataranga Hora, Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences. I'm Andrew, your Student Support and Engagement Manager. My team and I are here to support you through your entire undergraduate journey, from your first orientation to your final exams. Our friendly student support and engagement advisors will work one-on-one with you, helping you overcome the challenges of student life. Our main goal? To support your health, well-being and success. We want you to thrive not only in your studies, but also personally. We run events, link you with clubs and societies, and facilitate activities and workshops to make your student experience as enjoyable as possible. Our free breakfast on Thursday mornings is a great space to meet new people, connect with the team, and enjoy some free food. University is all about making new connections, some of which will last for life. Our campus is continually buzzing with activities and events that you can be part of, from interfaculty expos to career workshops. We encourage you to take a break from your studies and join activities across the week, including arts and crafts, gaming competitions, and once a semester events where you can experience something different. These include Dogs on Campus, Old School Sports Days, and our highly popular and competitive table tennis championship. You can join in and get involved in some amazing communities. There are so many student associations and clubs that run monthly coffee socials, regular quizzes, sausage sizzles, board game afternoons, and more. There really is something for everyone. If you're from a rural background, you'll find a home away from home at our faculty. Our dedicated student support advisor is here to guide you through your transition to Grafton campus. They can connect you with rural student networks, clubs and events, and provide tailored academic support to help you settle smoothly into university life. We'll help you find your tribe and feel at home from day one. Grafton campus itself is an incredible place to study. You'll be at a campus solely focused on the health space, surrounded by medical professionals, with Auckland City Hospital right across the road. On campus, we have our own student hub, where you can go for advice on studies and university life. Their staff assist you with study options, applications, course planning, fees, and much more. We also have dedicated library services where you can enjoy free study workshops and get all the learning essentials to help you succeed. If you ever need to take a breather, you can head to our cafe on site or pop over the road to the Auckland Domain and enjoy some fresh air and sunshine. There is so much to love about undergraduate study at the Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences. We'd really love to see you here with us.
Tēnā koutou katoa. My name's Alina and I'm one of the support and engagement advisors here at the Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences. Today I'm joined by Kayla and Austin, who are two of our current undergraduate students. They're going to share a little bit of insight into their university experience and what it is like to be a student at the faculty. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Tell me a little bit about yourselves.
So my name's Austin. I'm doing my second year at Auckland University. I'm studying medicine. So I've been in Auckland for a couple of years, but before this I lived in Napier for the duration of my high school. And before that I actually lived in Australia for about 12 years. So I've come back and pursuing a career in health.
Great, thank you. Tell me about you, Kayla.
Kia ora, I'm Kayla. I'm born and bred Tamaki Makaurau, and I'm in my second year of the Bachelor of Health Sciences degree.
What made you decide to study your program?
For me it was, well, since I always wanted to be a doctor, it was either obviously between Auckland University or Otago, but in year 12 and 13 at high school, Whakapikiaki, they came and visited us and did a talk about like different pathways where you can go in medicine, how to get in, what the requirements are, the credits and all those things. So it was just really helpful and kind of swayed me to make a decision to come study at Auckland.
Great. And how about you, Kayla?
For me, prior to coming to university, I was working in banking for about 9 years. And in that career, I became very aware of how people's financial situations impacted their physical and mental health and their whānau as well. So that really prompted me to want to further my education, and so I thought the Bachelor of Health Science degree would be perfect to learn about those different social determinants, and Auckland University was a no-brainer.
Great. What has been a highlight of your studies so far?
I would say a highlight has already happened this year. So being part of the rural stream as well, we went on a trip to Waitonga, and so we go with our Year 2 cohort for rural stream, as well as there was some 3rd years, 4th years, 5th years. It was just really cool, like building connections with all these different people, and also just seeing, like, we went to the hospital and we had a look at like what it's like being a rural doctor and being a rural GP, kind of making do with what you have. So yeah, it was quite cool to see how it really goes down.
Cool. Tell us about your highlight.
I think for me, I've always been fairly politically aware, and I think being able to be surrounded by people who are like-minded, as well as getting access to some of the researchers and different lecturers that are doing a lot of mahi to sort of solve a lot of the problems we see in society, that's been really cool. You feel like you're part of it even though you're still in the learning journey.
Yeah. Austin, how are you finding life in Auckland? How has it been being away from home?
It's different. Coming from Napier, obviously it's all like pretty flat and open, but come to Auckland, everything's just bigger, everything's pretty cramped, you know, there's people everywhere. So it's different, but it's also good to kind of see how the city life is, because it's a different perspective, obviously. I do like being away from home. There's ups and downs, obviously, but like being more independent and, you know, doing my own cooking and things like that, I found that quite beneficial.
Kayla, have you had interprofessional classes yet? And if so, have you found these useful?
Yeah, I have had the opportunity to work with other students across different degrees, and it's been very eye-opening. I've really enjoyed it, gaining different perspectives. I've noticed that students from different disciplines have their own strengths, and being able to work through different problems together has been really interesting.
Tell me a little bit about the support that's available to you as a student. Do you feel supported in your studies?
For me, I've actually been fortunate enough not to need to reach out for any of these services, but from what I know, there's the FMHS support. They're always there if like you need to talk about anything really. But then also there's a lot of campus care, and they can offer like all kinds of services.
Great. How about you, Kayla?
On a similar vein to what Austin said, yeah, there's so much support, and there's different channels that you can sort of make use of depending on what sort of support you need. So for me personally, I found the learning support team really helpful, because they taught me different techniques for studying, because coming from work previously into study was quite a shell shock. So that was really good.
Yeah. Austin, what are your favorite things about being a student at Grafton?
Since I've experienced both of the campuses, like in my first year I did health sciences, so we're at the city campus at OGGB quite a lot. I find that Grafton's a lot more close together. Like all your classes are pretty clearly laid out. Like last year I didn't really know where I was going. Like you see the numbers 098, blah blah blah. But this year it's all pretty clear and close together.
Okay. What's your favorite thing about Grafton?
I think even the way it's set up physically, like being across from the hospital, it's almost like it's been done deliberately to make you feel like you're already part of the health sector. And I think that's really important, especially with some of the concepts that we're learning about and what we're trying to achieve with the end goal with our studies. And also, as I said earlier, just being around like minds and different researchers and lecturers who, yeah, what you're able to sort of glean from them is so valuable.
Is there anything in particular that you love about life as a student at UOA?
I like the independence. Like since I come up from Napier, all my family lives in Napier, but since I came in last year doing my first year of health sciences, I stayed at the university halls, and it was like it's a good bridge to getting used to being on your own. And then since then, this year I'm living at Carlaw, so like you do your own cooking and all more of that stuff.
Great. What about you?
We have some really great facilities. Hiwa, the gym that's available, is amazing, and just the study space and different clubs that you're able to get into if you've got an interest in. It's just really, it's an exciting place to be.
Austin, are you involved in any clubs? What is the benefit of being part of a club while at university?
I haven't actually taken part of any of the university clubs, but I do know that there's a jiu-jitsu club, which sounds quite interesting to me at the gym. But I have started doing Muay Thai in there, and I know it's all about like the team environment and connections and things.
Great. How about you, Kayla? You mentioned some clubs.
I'm lucky enough to be involved with the OFSA, which is the Population Health Students Association, and they're amazing because they take a really holistic approach. They invite you to like breakfast club or different craft activities, and I think that's a huge benefit when you're so focused on studying, just to tap into that creative side, and it's really good that they proactively facilitate that.
What's the one thing you wish you'd known before starting uni?
I think like what I really noticed last year was that it would have been good to know like you can do your own thing, like especially at halls you see everyone's studying, but like if you're not able to go and study at 7 a.m. every morning in the study rooms, that's all right. You do what works for you, really.
Great. How about you, Kayla?
I think coming in as a mature student from the workforce is just being open to learning new ways, because the skills you have in that environment don't necessarily translate into skills that make you successful in the degree. So it took me a little while to just have a bit of humility and be open to other ways of doing things and being guided by people who are doing it all the time.
What advice would you give someone who's thinking about studying your program at the university?
Since I'm doing medicine, it might seem pretty obvious, but be prepared to work. But also to make use of all the resources available. Like there's so many different things that you can do to get information from different areas, but a lot of people don't make advantage of that. So I think that's quite important.
What advice would you give Kayla?
I think go full immersion. Like you're there to, there's some goal you're working towards. So start while you're in university, go to office hours and just, tap into the people that are around you and get experience from them, and just ask a lot of questions. The old adage, there's no dumb questions. Sometimes there are, but yeah, just be open to learning and don't be afraid to sort of look dumb.
Thank you, Austin and Kayla, for sharing your experiences with us today. I hope you've enjoyed hearing from our students about their experiences at university and more about the student support services we offer. We hope to see you here next year. Ka kite.
Kia ora. My name is Jodeci and I'm one of the MEPAS student support advisors here at the Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences. For those of you who don't know, MEPAS is our Māori and Pacific admission scheme. MEPAS is a vital part of the Vision 2020 initiative at the Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences, which aims to increase the number of Māori and Pacific health professionals in the health workforce. Today, I'm joined by Kamo and Cameron, who are two of our current students. They're going to share a little bit of insight into their university experience and what it is like to be a MEPAS student at the faculty. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Kia ora, I'm Cam. I'm a second year medical student at the University of Auckland. Through my mum, I whakapapa Māori, and through my dad, I whakapapa tū Vava'utanga.
Kia ora, my name is Kamo. I'm also a second year medical student at University of Auckland. From both my mum and dad, I hail from the beautiful island of Kiribati.
And Cam, what pathway did you take to get here?
Yeah, so my journey kind of started in high school. In year 13, I was first introduced into whakapikiake, which kind of opened me up to this whole world of medicine. And kind of realistically speaking, I realized that my first year of university was to take a certificate in Māori and Pacific Health Sciences. And then in my second year of university, I did first year biomed, which has led me into second year medicine now.
Nice. And Kamo, what pathway did you take to get here?
Quite similar to Cameron's, I got exposure to MEPAS on my last year in high school. From then I was a bit unsure what I was going to do after high school until I had an old boy come in, and he was also a MEPAS student as well. He was just talking about his experience and stuff. And then obviously at my end I didn't do all sciences, so I wasn't sure how to get in and to study health. But then he told me about Pacific Wayfinders, and then from there I got connections through MEPAS and exposure into certificate in health science, and then here I am today.
Well done. And Cam, tell us about how you connected with the MEPAS team.
Yeah, so I first connected in my first year of university, kind of prior to when the year started. We did a whānau dinner, and so that's when we were kind of introduced to the whole MEPAS initiative, and my family were a part of that, so that we could all kind of have this understanding of where I was going into in uni.
And come on, tell us about how you connected with the MEPAS team.
I think it was through Pacific Wayfinders. Me and my mum, we drove all the way from Hamilton to, I think it was an open evening. I think that's when I met you for the first time as well. So I think it was then. Just met the whole team, how the years will be structured, and the different support we can get. So that was real nice.
Nice, come on. Cam, were you shy when you first started at uni?
Yeah, I felt super nervous coming into this new space. I didn't have any friends, or I didn't really know anybody that had come into medicine, so it felt very, very nerve-wracking. But once you come into one of the first MEPAS events that you guys hold, it's facilitated for you to meet people, so you immediately feel a lot more at peace. Yeah.
And were you shy when you first started at uni?
Yeah, I would say so. Definitely because of just entering a new space. I didn't know anyone coming here. But I think definitely what made me break out of my shell was getting involved with all the events, not only like just the general events that we have here in the University of Auckland, but also just the events that MEPAS holds as well. And just through there, just made good friendships. Yeah.
Cam, how did you transition from high school to uni?
Yeah, I think we need to realize that transitioning into university, it's not just about academics. For a lot of us, we're moving out of home, we're kind of entering adulthood. So that transition, it's quite a lot to carry, but with other Māori and Pacific students kind of going through that experience together, you feel a lot more communally strong, kind of transitioning to uni.
And come on, how did you transition from high school to uni?
I found it quite hard at first because, away from family, but I think it was just constantly staying in comms with my family back home, and just also making new relationships along the way too. And also always, sticking to the support team that was provided. And then that's what made me feel like at ease and kind of see Auckland as a second home. Yeah.
Nice. Cam, do you feel like you've made some lifelong friendships here?
Yeah, definitely. In my first year of certificate, I've met two of my best friends that we study with to this day. We're both in medicine together. So I think MEPAS was like the first step to kind of facilitate the safe environment to build friendships, and it's carried me through my whole university life so far.
Nice. And Kamal, do you feel like you've made some lifelong friendships here?
Yeah, most definitely. Also did the same program as Cameron here, and I would say it was through that and just getting amongst all those events that I was talking about before. I think that's that initial getting to know people, and then from there we've just been, stuck to each other like glue. Yeah.
Nice. Cam, what do you wish you knew about uni before you got here?
I think realizing that there's a space for you, not only at university, but also in the medical field. There's a place for you being Māori and Pacific. There's a community for you, there's a cohort. There's something so empowering in realizing that you are welcomed here. I think that's something MEPAS has helped me realize.
And Kamal, what do you wish that you knew about uni before you got here?
Before I got here, I think for me it was more so like not to get so caught up with like how hectic it can be. I think for me, if I was to give a tip to myself back then, was to try organize through that mess and to make it so just take a step back from it, and then from there you can, like, how would I say, just plan and then attack, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Nice. What kinds of supports have you had from MEPAS?
There's been plenty, but specifically for me, I would say a lot of academic support. There was a lot of tutorials they provide just to touch up on things that struggling on in classes. So that was really helpful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what about yourself, Cameron? What kind of supports?
Yeah, so for me, a lot of it was pastoral support. Coming into this space of medicine, you kind of realize that your ability to succeed doesn't just depend on whether your heart is in it or whether you're a bright kid. A lot of it does depend on what resources are made accessible to you. So for me, MAPAS was a lot of gaining that support so that I could stand on my own 2 feet, so I could shoot my shot at medicine. Yeah.
Nice. What's one tip that you'd give to new students?
Yeah, I think coming into university, it can feel so foreign and such an intimidating space to enter. I think with MAPAS, just knowing that there are academic advisors that will support you every step of the way to guide you through this transition. So I would say know that you're being guided and know that you have such pure support to carry you through. So there's no need to carry that anxiety. Yeah.
Nice, thank you, Cam. And Kambo, what's one tip that you'd like to give to our new students?
One tip would probably be make use of all the resources available to you. That could be all the tutorials, just going to classes as well, and all those extra study resources that, you know, not only MAPAS but the University of Auckland provides. So just make use of all of that to make it smooth sailing.
Nice. Well, thank you, Cameron and Kambo, for sharing your experiences today. For more advice and information on MAPAS, you can visit us online, follow us on Instagram, or get in touch with one of our MAPAS student support advisors. We look forward to seeing you here at the faculty.
Thank you all for joining us today. We hope you now have an understanding of the support we offer and what it's like to be a student at the faculty. As you consider your next steps, remember that we are here to help you every step of the way and to get you future ready for a career in health. If you have any questions or need further information, you can get in touch with us by email at auckland.ac.nz/askus. Check out our website or pop into one of our student hubs to speak with our expert advisors. We look forward to seeing you.